People, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Sai TV. We are live for Super Sunday. It's been a while, man. I can't lie to you. The man have been on to me to saying, yo, what's happened to Super Sunday? But you know what? The actual kind of reason is that there's literally been a lot of time to fit it in because the amount of games that come on a Sunday. And obviously people are going to the games, you know what I mean? And it's madness, isn't it? So yeah, man. Big up to everybody who's here. Make sure you like the video. We got man like Igal in the building, 3-point collectors. What you saying, Igal? Everything bless?
Bro, I'm happy, man. My team's got me gassed right now.
Yeah? You gas title charge back on.
Bro, to see them score 4 goals, Kai Havertz get a goal, it's kind of like refreshing. Just great weekend. And you know what got me even more gassed? The fact that City dropped points and everybody else around us were dropping points. Like Liverpool, it just makes the weekend better for me.
Everyone around you drop points, yeah.
Except for you, of course. We'll get to that.
Hey.
I didn't want
You just need to rephrase yourself and remember. That's all I'm saying.
Bro, I didn't want to take your moment away.
Listen, it is what it is. Listen, it's actually quite fun, you know, to see that there's a North London maybe title race happening rather than a Manchester one. Maybe listen, George, you never know, man. This could be your year, man. You never know.
I don't know about title challenge yet, man. I'm not gonna get buy into all of that. But you know, the start of the season's been good, and for both of us to be the only 2 unbeaten teams so far this season, it's impressive. I don't see us losing anytime soon. Looking at the games that we've got coming up, I wouldn't expect a loss in the next 5. So this unbeaten run should continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Say less. Say less. We got man like Rums. I know you had a game yesterday. Good to have you back on the channel, but what are you saying, bro?
You know what it is? Being at the game and losing in that nature, it was heartbreaking. But when I woke up today, watched back the game and whatnot, obviously we're going to chop it up and we're going to get into it. But I'm optimistic. I'm actually feeling better than I was yesterday. But we'll get into the game. But love having me, man. And yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, listen, we'll chop it up definitely. Ghoulies holding life today. I can't lie to you, man. There's no stress for you. You're just chilling until tomorrow night. Monday night, under the lights.
There's still stress. Do you think I'm looking forward to watching Chelsea play tomorrow? Are you being dead? Are you being serious? Seriously. Yeah, even though off the back we listen, for the first time, and I don't even remember how long, I'm talking off the back of a win as well. Right? Carabao Cup. But you think I'm gonna sit here and be shameless and big up that victory? We're still shit, cuz. Yeah, let's have it right. Let's just have it right. I love my Chelsea, but we are dog shit right now. I've got no confidence going into any game, bro. This is just where I'm at. I'm just on autopilot, cuz. Yeah, this is just continuation from last season, big man.
Yeah. Say no more. Say no more. All right, let's get into it. You know what? Listen, people are saying that I'm blagging in the title, but I've actually checked online, Roms, yeah. Liverpool fans want a rematch for this game. Like, they're genuinely thinking, you know what?
No, I've seen it, to be fair. At first I thought it was clickbait, but I've seen it myself. Like, I can't wait to play them again and whatnot. I've seen it. So for everyone saying Tahir's using clickbait, he's not. This is actually a real thing. Fans have been saying this. But do you want to start, George? Should I start? Should you start? Let's get into it.
You feel aggrieved. You feel aggrieved, Roms. So I'll let you go first.
Right.
No, hang on. Let me say something before you come with your case and your justice. Yeah. This is justice for every other 19 teams in the Premier League. For all them times you lot get away with decisions, it's like you lot have had immunity for I don't even remember how long. Yeah. So I know. Listen, as terrible as it was yesterday, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and not say that it felt good for you to get the bad end of the stick. So
everyone's saying this. Do you know what is good? Yeah, I'm not even gonna come on and blow out all of these excuses. I'm just going to speak out again. I'm going to speak out certain instances, but I'm not going to keep dwelling on the instances because they've happened and we have to move on. But for me, the first 25 minutes, we were the better team. George disagrees, but I think we were better than them from pillar to post. They had a few breaks, but I think we're dominating the game. Jones gets sent off. That incident, it is a red. We have to be honest. It's unfortunate because he gets the ball, but the way his foot glide over the ball and then his studs goes into his calf, it's a red. We have to hold our hands up to that. We go 10 men down, and I still think we look threatening. Tottenham were hitting us on the break as well, and then you have the Diaz situation. Now, this is why I'm not going to spend too long on this because this is going to happen another 2-3 times this season. We know what VAR is. This human error stuff, it is annoying because they think an apology is just going to make everything better. A guy will understand last season with the Brentford game when their goal should have been onside and the lines weren't drawn. And you know what makes it so hilarious, right? Is that VAR actually communicated, I forgot the referees' names, but the ones that are on the pitch is that they said check complete, assuming that it's fine. They were supposed to allow the goal. But it's actually the ref on the pitch that actually disallowed the goal. This is where the anger comes from our fan base. So obviously that happens. That gets ruled out. Tottenham go the other end and they score. Beautiful ball by Maddison. I'm not going to lie. Good cross by Richarlison. Son does what he does and he finishes. Then we go 1-0 down. Spurs had a little spell in that point as well where I think they could have scored again. Richarlison hit the post. And also early in the game as well, I think Richarlison, he hits it across goal and Kulusevski doesn't reach the end of it. But then we start the second half. I personally think, again, with 10 men, we looked more potent. Tottenham had more of the ball, understandably, but I feel like we still looked a bit more threatening on the break. And then we get the goal. We get the goal just before halftime with Gakpo. I'm fast forwarding. Good knock back from Dijk. And we go into halftime 1-1 with 10 men. And even then, I was saying to Monty, I've got a good feeling about this game. The second half starts and Diogo Jota, the first for me wasn't a yellow, but what you can't do once you're on a yellow.
Don't skip the 20 minutes prior to that. Why are you talking about the 20 minutes of the start of the second half where you was dominated and you guys didn't do anything and you sat?
I just said, George, you're not listening. I just said you started the second half better. You're not listening.
No. But then you tracked back and you meant to say you went back to the first half, but you didn't say.
No, because I forgot the Gakpo goal. That's why I had to go back. I forgot the Gakpo goal because I was thinking it'll start the second.
What chances did you create in the second half? Because I don't recall you having one break in the second half. Not one chance created. Not one shot. I don't recall you guys creating anything.
We did, because remember Salah has played it to Diaz. Actually, no, that was just before half time. Salah's played it to Diaz and he should have tapped it. He should have tapped it in. And
that was right at the end of the first half.
There was a half-hearted shot by Sabos, but that's about it. So you know what? We wasn't potent in the way we were attacking, but for me, we still looked like we had more of the ball. But then the second red happened, right? And we were outraged as Liverpool fans because the first wasn't a yellow. But what we need to understand is once you're on a yellow, Jota needs to have a calmer temperament. You can't go flying in like that. And you know what makes it worse? Udogie weren't even going there. Udogie weren't even going anywhere. Matip had him covered. Udogie was not going anywhere. So that was stupid. And when you go 9-11, I was worried. I was thinking, this could turn into hide and maybe a 3-4-1. But this is why I'm going to praise it as, because I've actually got encouragement from this. To hold out for 25 minutes with 9 men, it spoke volumes, because before this game, right, I didn't have us as title challengers. I thought we'll be there and thereabouts and City and Arsenal run away with it. I actually think we will stay with a City and Arsenal now because there's a team spirit now. I doubted Klopp last year. I'm going to hold my hands up. I did doubt Klopp last year, but he's instilled a new team spirit. He's now got his pace. He's now got runners. We're now industrious in the midfield. And I just feel, credit to Spurs, they showed resiliency. They showed passion, they showed fight, they got the goal in the end, and you have to credit them. They won the game. But I still think even with 9 men, we were solid, we were compact in numbers, we did what we had to do, and Tottenham did struggle. I know there's a bit of context. Yeah, Maddison and Son came off. I think you can confirm, George, they wasn't 100% fit for the game, so that's why they did come off. Maddison. And you saw Tottenham don't have that personnel other than Maddison, and I would say Bentancur as well, but he's injured, that can really unlock that door. But this is where I have to look at Endo and Gravenberch, because Gravenberch, why are you trying to beat Mickey van der Ven in the corner? Just dribble to the corner and keep it there, protect it. He's tried to beat him. Van der Ven's got the ball, played it to Højbjerg, and this is where Endo now needs to be experienced, because Gravenberch was inexperienced in that situation, and now Endo needs to use his experience in this situation, because when Højbjerg breaks, pull him down. The dark hearts of the game. There was literally 40 seconds left. Just pull him down, tug him down. He left him to run. I think he's played it into Kulusevski. He's played it out to Porro. And then you know what happened after that. And it's unfortunate for Matip, because Matip actually had a good game. I would actually go as far as saying our back four had a good game, but it all got undone by that last bit. But one thing I will say is I'm proud of the lads, and that performance yesterday encouraged me. Don't get it twisted. In the moment, I was distraught. I was heartbroken because we lost last minute. But now I've actually taking the game in, watch the extended highlights, and see how we perform. This gives me so much more encouragement going forward. So much. And I actually think we're going to be thereabouts with Arsenal and City now. But credit to Spurs. They got the job done. I can't take that away from them.
That's it.
But you know what? Before I bring on George, Spurs only trophy will be getting a point at Emirates. Said, you can have Havertz for free for charity. Bloody hell, he scored, man. You should be keeping him now. Big up to Zayn Miyake.
Man.
George, like, do you feel any sympathy towards Liverpool? Like, do you feel like, you know what, man? Like, you know what I mean? Liverpool.
This is the one team that I will never feel sympathy for. Like, you guys don't get the amount of decisions that have gone wrong. I even watched a compilation last night. Yeah. It was made of like the past 3 to 4 years. All the decisions that have gone Liverpool's way against Tottenham. No, but all the decisions that went their way just against us last season when Jota booted Skip in the head. The studs touched his head. VAR said no foul, no yellow, no nothing. No, like the amount of decisions that have gone Liverpool's way against us. I couldn't be any happier. And you know what? It made it even better when I saw PG Mo come out with it saying, "Oh, we're sorry, we got it wrong." I loved it. I was lapping it up. Because they got it wrong in the game. That, I mean, it meant a lot to us. I can't lie. People say, why are Tottenham fans celebrating the win so much? Why are we so happy? We haven't beaten Liverpool in about 15 games. Liverpool's the one bogey team. Like, is obviously bogey team's disrespectful, but it's not even trying to be disrespectful. Liverpool's the one team we just don't beat. Like, home, away, Liverpool just get the job done against us. For Ange to be in his first season, pick up points against Manchester United at home, beat the compilations of Liverpool. Trust me, man. It's a long one. Even if you want to see the Liverpool, trust me, it's long. But
you forgot the 2-2 win last week. You forgot the 2-2 win last week. Don't worry.
But for us to see us get the performances that we have in the bigger games and pick up points, that's where we lack in the last couple of seasons. We're going to be happy. Tottenham fans are going to lap it up. And when you talk about performances, that wasn't a great performance from us. We know that. Tottenham fans would be stupid and silly to sit here and say Tottenham performed great. We didn't. As we said, Liverpool they're one of the best defensive teams in world football. No one can take that away from them. This has been the same back four that took you guys to a Champions League, and it's going to be the same back four that's won.
George, don't do that. Wait. You saw it happen the back of last
Rums, I'm going to say that a lot of them have fell off, and I don't rate a lot of them, but they're still a world-class defense.
Yeah, of course.
When you have 9 men and you pack all these players behind the ball, it makes it very hard to break them down. Let alone Tottenham would find it hard.
That's not a world-class defense. That's called putting 9 men behind the ball.
No, facts, Gunny. But the thing is, when you look at Tottenham, we struggle to break down low blocks in general, and then you do a low block from a top team. Of course, it's going to be a lot harder. We find we missed a lot of those 1v1 direct attackers and wingers and players that just have that 1v1 ability to just create something from nothing. So yesterday, I don't feel like the first half or second half performance was amazing, but we done the job. We played good enough, and I always felt like we were going to win, even when we were going chance after chance, and it didn't feel like something was getting created. I feel like there was always that feeling of that momentum saying that Tottenham are going to get the job done. And that's the difference between this season and the last season. Like, we just know that we're going to keep going. And, we got the job done, man.
I want to shout out to
the difference
before you go, Rums. What about the super chat here? What are Spurs? What is the aim this season? We need to hear some expectation. Because right now, I can't lie to you. You're unbeaten. You got 1 game a week. I'm not saying title challenge or whatnot, but bro, like, I feel like Tottenham fans chest out now this season. Like, it can't be a humble thing. I think
why? But this is what I don't get, Sage. Let's take it back 12 months. Ten Hag and he didn't really start too well, but then when you guys went on a long run of games, and people were saying, I remember that time in January where you was in and around the title charge, you were in and around the points of Arsenal, and you had those few games where you sort of fell off. Prior to that, we're going, Man United fans, you're in the title race. Are you going to put the pressure on? Your team's there. And you're going, no. It's our first season. We can't say that. We can't.
We were also in 3 competitions. We were also in 3-4 competitions. You guys,
let's be real. Whether you're in that many competitions or not, it's the first season of a manager who's bringing in it's the opposite philosophy. Last season we're playing counter-attack and transition football. Now we're playing on the ball, champagne football, tick-a-tacker. Like, we're playing a different style of football that I don't suspect to stay sustainable throughout the whole season, because it's high press, it's high intensity, and if you don't have the squad to maintain it, the injuries are going to come up later on in the season. Look, we are playing 1 game a week, but when Tottenham do get injuries, we're going to have bigger problems, similar to like Man United. Like when you guys haven't even had injuries to your main players. You've had 3 or 4 injuries, and your team looks terrible without them. Tottenham will be very similar. Once we have 3 or 4 main injuries, our team will not look at the same level that we are right now. And a player 1 game a week will benefit us for like the moment, but it's going to catch up to us at one time. And once the injuries do come through, we're going to have a problem. We're not
Chelsea play 1 game a week. They have injuries. You can see what it's doing to them. Anybody who gets injuries is going to get affected by injuries. That's the honest truth. But as a rival, looking at Tottenham, yes, you guys are doing good. But as you said, you guys are playing a new style of football, new manager. It is the honeymoon period, and you have the right to enjoy it, and you're winning games. So of course you're going to enjoy it. But overlining, the overall thing is we don't know what this Tottenham team is going to look like at the end product. It's still early, so to be putting them in any conversations of title race or anything like that, I think it's way too early. But to say they could finish as one of the top 4 teams, I don't debate that. I think that they could establish themselves as a top 4 team going into the rest of the season.
That's 100% my expectation.
Yeah.
I was going to say, right?
Let me just say one more thing, bro, before I pass it on back to you. This was daylight robbery. Now, Tottenham fans, you guys can celebrate. You won, but this was daylight robbery. The referees basically handed it to you on a plate. No fault of your own, but the referee handed it to you on his plate. Not the first foul on Jota should have never been a foul. The guy tripped over his own feet. Everyone's seen that. Why aren't those kind of decisions looked at as like, you know what, give him a little bit of lenience in the next one? But guess what? He made a stupid mistake, so Jota was going to get sent off regardless. The first red was always a red, no debate. But what about the offside? Yeah. This is black and white. This is not a subjective decision. Why is it that referees are getting subjective decisions wrong? You cannot be in 2023 with technology and saying, you know what, these things happen, mate. We don't want to hear that. The reality is, we want to hear the truth. And the truth is, it happened before with when Aston Villa stayed up because they made a mistake on the goal line technology. It happened last year. It happened last year when there was a situation with Brentford against Arsenal where they forgot to draw the lines. And this year, they're doing it again. The technology is in place to help us, but the people running it are incompetent. And they're the ones that are costing people points.
One thing I have to say, right, and I'm not just saying this because we're the victims this week, but the tribalism has to kind of stop when it comes to these things because it's going to affect all of our clubs at some one point. Do you know what I mean? Because I have a feeling we're going to have another 2-3 more apologies from PGM, MOL, how we pronounce them this season. But back onto the football, I want to praise 2 players, one from Spurs and one from us, right? Mickey van der Ven, George, I already think he's your best centre back. I've seen enough. You know, sometimes you can just tell. I've seen enough. I think he's more composed than Romero. I think he reads the game better than Romero. I think his understanding, even the way his ball playing ability, I think is better than Romero as well. I just think, I know it's the sample size small, but I just think his ceiling's higher and he's going to be better than him. But one player I have to praise for us is Alisson Becker because he is our constant. Even in the seasons we've dropped off, he is just our constant. Guys, clearly, I know City fans will try and put the case for Ederson, but he's just the best in the league. And for me, by a canter, because that save against Son's volley, not a lot of keepers are saving that, and even the one against Maddison as well. Again, not a lot of keepers saving us. He kept us in the game, and even his sweeper keeping ability. Sometimes Son and Kulusevski will come behind, but he's just there. He's there to collect it. So there are 2 players. Mickey van der Ven personally was my man of the match. Every time Diaz and Salah got ahead of him, he's just clearing it up. He's just clearing out danger. But for us, Alisson, he's just amazing. He kept us in that game at points as well. But them 2 players for me were the standout. But again, congratulations to Spurs, but I'm encouraged by this, and I think we're gonna go on to beat Brighton.
I do feel like there's one player that Liverpool fans just been failing to mention to try to take it away.
Bissouma,
man.
Yeah, he was cold.
Honestly, Bissouma just the whole game bossed him. I feel like it was something that Liverpool fans probably knew that was going to happen because he was the only real DM on the pitch, and I think he took advantage of that. He threw his weight around. And just how comfortable he is on the ball. You saw him in the 1-to-1 challenge, even with Salah when they were going 1-to-1 down there. And I was thinking, Salah might have him in the leg race, and then he caught him, won the foul. Like Bissouma was just. Do you know what
was wild for me yesterday? Seeing Robertson getting fried like that. I had never seen him on skates like that ever. He was.
Greeny. You've not seen him on skates. This has been happening to Robert.
No, I'm saying like that. No, but like yesterday was like the first time where I really like paid attention.
Sorry,
and I
yeah.
thought, nah, this is mental. Yeah. So from a personal standpoint, I was like, nah. I really
Bro-
paid attention this time. So boy,
Porro stretched him, man. Honestly, Porro.
Bro, yeah, but he can
when
do
he hit
that.
him with that
That's why I was a
turn.
bit surprised. I was surprised when they backed off. Like Porro is that guy that you need to kind of stretch this. So when Spurs were kind of sitting back, I was like, "What are you doing? Like, go at them," you know. And that was the thing where
And for me,
Ange hesitated in that
but
regard.
do you know what? On the flip side, you kind of have to credit Ange for that because he still respected our attack. So I know you're saying kind of go for it a bit more. Don't be as pragmatic. But he knows we still have killers, whether we have 8, 9, 10 men. We still have players that will put the ball in the back of the net and can hit you on the count. So at first, even when I saw Madison and Son come off, I was like, what are you doing? But then I thought, you know what? He's not being naive. He knows our strengths, even though we've got less men. And that's where you actually have to credit his in-game management. But on the flip side, I do feel Spurs could have done a bit more whilst we had 9 men. But at the end of the day, they're not going to care. They got the win, and it is what it is. We move on to next week. But I'm encouraged by the boys, and I'm proud of them. I'm not going to lie. I'm so proud of them.
Azad here says, big up Azad. Hamid said, as a City fan, I'm genuinely worried about Spurs. I think they will be our biggest rivals for the title this year. Not Arsenal, not Liverpool. Ange is top. That's surprising to hear from a City fan.
I appreciate
But,
the
like I
compliments,
said,
man.
Yeah, the compliments.
We will be there.
Ange has done.
I hear this every year. I love it. Bring it. Keep gassing up.
You
Tottenham.
don't hear this every year, though. This is what
We
I
heard
don't.
it. We
don't
heard
hear
it under
this every year.
Jose 7 games in. We heard it under.
We never
Conte.
heard it under Jose, though. Let's
You're
be
top
real,
of the
man.
league.
Jose was.
Bro, you were top of the league under Jose. You guys forget that? Tottenham top of the league under
George.
Jose.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Wins, the 1-0 wins, and the.
George, when you picked Arsenal to 4th that season and Conte started the season, let's be honest, we were hearing Tottenham. A gal spot on. We were hearing Tottenham.
When Conte started,
year.
That's the
Every
start of
year
last
they do this.
season. Yeah, I think a lot of people expected Tottenham to do good, but when we started, everyone brought them their expectations back because we didn't start well. We actually played poor, and a lot of our players.
You were still getting results, if I remember right.
We're getting results, but similar to how Man United started this season, our players, we sort of overrated how good our players were going to be. The likes of Dyer, Lloris, and like all these players that had shit, and they had a good spell. We expected them to carry on being good, and they didn't. And that's what's happening to Man United right now, man. Just a lot of their players.
Well, we're going to talk about that now.
As you said, you've done your progress, so we're going to see a dip in form. Let's just see how you handle that dip in form.
I don't think there's
Also,
going to
the
be a big
AFCON
dip
as
in
well.
form, though.
The AFCON period is going to be key. Going to lose Basuma and Sarr. Can Bentancur, Højbjerg give that same effect as well? That's going to be a key area. But that's why in January, you got to go get players in. Sorry?
I didn't think about that. That's right.
No,
I forgot about that, you know.
Basuma
I actually forgot.
5 weeks. You know, we're going to lose. I think that, everyone's going to lose players, so. It's how I think for me you've got to go buy some players. Maybe
we do need at least 3 players. I do feel like we need a midfielder. We need a centre back, a midfielder, and a winger. That's probably in and around what we need, and just be perfect.
Connor's going to be gone too
for me.
Shit.
We didn't start well. Spurs ever best start Premier League. But there you go. Listen, 1.2k in the building. Make sure you guys are liking the video. I appreciate all the support, but man, hit the like button right now and make sure you're following everyone's channels. But we do have to talk about Man United because, bro, I can't lie to you. I'm stressed right now. I think for me, yesterday was, bro, we never looked like we're gonna score. 10 Hag's under pressure. I can't.
Is he a fraud, Saeed? Let's just get to the questions, man. Is Ten Hag a fraud, cuz? Does he need to leave, bro? Are his decisions causing you all of this? What is going on with this, brother?
Goonie, do you know what it is? Side, just before you go, Side, yeah. I've always said with Ten Hag, right? Especially the way United have started. I hate cutting them any bit of slack. I hate the club. But I've said for United fans that were saying Ten Hag out from early, I said, wait till his signings come back, because I think Said wasn't there a stat at one point where he hadn't had 2 of his signings on the pitch longer than like 30 minutes at a point. But now Amrabat's back, Mount's back, Højlund's back. Your first teamers, not even first teamers, your players that will be in your starting 11 are slowly coming back. And nothing's really changed. This is where I think it's getting very worrying. I'm loving this. I'm laughing this all up. But it's getting very worrying now. And let's say more of your signings come back, Kobe Minor, etc., and these results still continue. You know, only one thing happens. There never will happen. It could happen very soon. Very soon.
You know what it is with me? I can't lie to you. People can want me to say Ten Hag out here. But you see me, I'm past that, man. I can't lie to you. I thought this was the guy. I'm kind of heartbroken, man, because Ten Hag, whether you like it or not, was one of the best up-and-coming managers that we've seen in Europe at that time.
Yeah.
You had him, you had a
that's
couple
not a
in
lie.
there. Like
That's
everybody
not a lie.
wanted Ten
I
Hag.
don't know. I don't know if I agree that
Now, you
because
wanted
we had
Ten
the
Hag.
interview.
You wanted him at
we-
Spurs.
I'm
George,
not going to hear that
in
we
that
wanted.
time,
How
when
did we
United
want him?
were
We
about
turned
to
him
hire
down. He came for an interview for Spurs. It's very well known, and we turned him down because his English wasn't good enough. Apparently, we
If you
turned
don't want
down.
him, though, are you telling me right now I can't find a tweet somewhere? Yo, bring Ten Hag.
Me
Are you saying
personally,
that right now?
nah, I've never really rated Ten Hag like that. Me
Someone
personally,
find
I
it.
don't.
Someone find it.
Now at
Search it
that
up.
time,
Go on, go
but
on.
at that time though, we can't be disingenuous and say that he wasn't
Innit,
a
we
highly
can't be
sought after
disingenuous.
manager. He was.
That's what I'm
was-
saying. He
It was
was.
Ten Hag and
But this is
Alvarez.
what I don't know. But no, what I did, people said up and coming managers like Ten Hag hasn't been managing for about 10
No,
years.
I'm not
Like,
saying
he's
but like
another
the best
Ole.
in Europe. The flavor of the month. The flavor of the month. Maybe that's a better
Yeah,
term to
yeah,
say.
that's
The
Because you need
flavor
to
of the month.
understand that Champions League run with Ajax, everyone was waxing lyrical. You can't deny it.
Everyone was
Everyone was
And
waxing
guess
lyrical,
what?
bro.
Who shut down that team? That's why I don't believe
No,
in that.
he
That's
did
why
it
I
to
don't-
him. Nah, I'm stepping in
Oh, I'm
here.
not gonna hear it.
Ten
Come on,
Hag done it to himself. He done it to himself.
He
The
did it
reason
to
why you
himself.
lot got to that final, he did it to himself, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, because had he had some defensive discipline about him, he wouldn't have left just one centre back at the halfway line for you lot to hit him on a counter attack. That is called foolishness in the Champions League semi-final. That's called being naive. He done it to himself, but still, fair play getting to the final, bruv. You just got to show me your Champions League now.
And George, see,
Yeah.
you prevented you from winning your Champions League again. Just I'll chuck that in.
What'd
Yeah.
you say?
Now you know what? That was the worst Champions League final, by the way, ever.
No, it
If
was.
they would've
I was
been
just saying
losing that year-
you can big up stopping the run with Ajax, but who stopped you in the final? Do you remember that one?
Oh, what?
Or-
Do,
They
do
blame
you remember the
Sissoko.
dodgy
They blame
decisions?
Sissoko.
Like you remember that, like dodgy decisions? Because I
What
know
dodgy
today, like it's all,
Handball,
dodgy decisions are all
handball.
on your mind. So let's call that one, innit? Like
Yo,
This
but
question,
Sai,
big up to,
I wanted to say this.
Robert
When
Carpar.
it's mentioned-
He says Ten Hag is the girl with filter and makeup on Snapchat, but when you see him in person, she's mid catfish settings. Wow, that's crazy.
I was going to say this.
Sorry, girl.
I was going to say this. Ajax, their system of bringing through players and having everything behind the scenes sorted for him makes him that manager that he is at Ajax. Where at Manchester United, I don't think you have this style of. I don't think you have the players to fit the style of play that he wants to play, and I don't think you have the right people to identify those players that he wants. Because I don't think his talent ID.
He's
himself
brought his
is-
players illegal. I can't make them excuses.
I question him.
Brought in Onana, he's brought in
No,
Mount, Hoyland.
this is what I'm doing.
We've not said go buy them.
This is what I'm doing though. I'm questioning if he was successful because of the setup behind him, and also if the reason why
okay.
he's doing so bad at Manchester United is because of the current setup at Manchester United, where he's not getting the recruitment help, where people cannot go and be like, you know what, this is what you might
No,
need.
egal. It's an indictment. The fact that he before he got the job, he had intense meetings with Man United. It was like 2-3 weeks where he basically said, I want to be kind of in control. Basically. I want to lead it. Because you guys have bought bad signings, so I want to bring in my guys. Obviously, they do have a little bit of a say, but ultimately, he leads the role. He leads identifying certain players. And he has done that. He has said, Anthony, Lisandro obviously has been a fairly good signing. You got Casemiro in there, who I think was a club signing. He wanted De Jong, but he ended up going with Casemiro. Mount is his signing. Like, we didn't say to him, go and get that. So that's why I feel like for me, as much as I'm like, I'm not fully Ten Hag out, but I can't sit here and say, oh, you know what? He hasn't been backed or he hasn't done, like, bro, he has been given money and he has bought it on players that I'm like, yeah, I could have bought better players. I could have got Barella. I could have got certain other players, bro.
Do you know what it is?
Inter needed the money as well.
I'm looking at his
I do
recruitment
feel
and
like
I'm saying
everything-
this is an indictment on him.
Now I feel like everything right now is looking a lot worse as well because of his management is so poor. Like you guys are having so much different problems in and around the squad, like with like individual problems with him and players, and like even just things that he's commented on. And I feel like he's too abrasive and like outlandish in his interviews sometimes. He says things like, you're Manchester United, everything's supposed to be behind closed doors. He says too much and he lets things out, and it has a bad reflection on him. And the squad probably don't like that. We've seen how the squad turn on managers time and time again. And I feel like right now it's getting to a phase where the squad is either going to tilt over where a lot of them turn on him, or they start getting results and they start buying back in. But he is very close to being on either way, like where the squad's going to turn. Because right now things are not looking good. They're not improving.
George, I think
You
you're
know what?
wrong.
I probably misheard him. I knew what you mean, like a director of football. But the thing is, though, Ralph Rangnick, there was a reason why he left. Either he clashed with Myrtle or he clashed with maybe Ten Hag was like, I don't really need you. So Ten Hag has probably said, you know what? Okay, John Myrtle could be here, but I'm still gonna lead it. Ultimately, that will come with him not having full control
That
and
was
the club
ridiculous.
saying, no, we're gonna work with you and we're gonna
Just-
kind of help you in that kind of regards.
This
Just
is
to
the
add on
thing.
to what George said,
Oh, go ahead.
quickly, Gav, just to add on to what George said though, that is the Dutch for you. They are very honest. They just say it how it is. That is what Dutch people are like, right? But I agree with you, George, because I feel like all of the off-field incidents with your Anthony's, your Sanchos, and all these other factors, I feel like it's transmitting onto the pitch. And we know well-run club off the pitch, normally you see it on the pitch. But if it's not well-run off the pitch, it will transmit onto the pitch as well. So I think Ten Hag is to blame as well, but I've said this to you, Side, many times. It's just rinse and repeat. If they get rid of Ten Hag, the new manager will come in. It will be all right for maybe a month or two,
Facts.
maybe even 5 months. Then it will just happen again. Because you lot heard the saying, a fish rots from the head downwards, right? Ten Hag is to blame. Some of his in-game management, his signage. Yes, he needs to take a lot of the blame. But it's still the higher up for United. And you know what, Side? Long may it continue, man. Long may it continue.
Look up to HKN. Nah, I hear you, man. As a Liverpool fan, you're gonna say that. HKN, listen, I disagree. This is on its players. He's a coach. We should not be letting him pick the players. We need a DOF. That shouldn't be his job. Myrtle sacked Ralph and doesn't know his job. But that's what I'm saying. I was never for Ralph leaving, and I said it from day one. This guy is a guy who was scouting the likes of Enzo Fernandez, Alvarez.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are ballers,
Haaland,
man.
all these
And
guys. He wanted them.
yeah. Yeah, man, 100%. Big up to Sanchez with Ramos suspension, Varane a regular disaster performance. Give Ten Hag a career. No one knew him before that. Nah, I think that's disingenuous, man. Come on, man. He was doing bits at Ajax, man. By the way, there's a Liverpool statement, you know, Rums. I don't know if you've seen it.
I didn't
they're
even.
coming
I've
out
seen the
saying-
chat.
I just read it now.
Bro,
still.
them man are filing a lawsuit, yeah, against the PGML. Okay.
We're not playing.
Of the match officials
We
work
got our
on
points.
Bro, they want their points.
Bro, we should have
They're
done that
basically
last
saying that
Man,
they
they're
failed.
How can what
significant
how would that
error.
work? How could they get points?
No, we won't. No, I'm being sarcastic. Obviously, I'm saying we won our points. They won't actually give the points back, but yeah, we're not happy with that because let's say in a worst case scenario, yeah.
Oh, Lukaku. That's what you're missing, guys. Lukaku.
Yeah, I was gonna
back
say
up.
that. Trust me, I was gonna mention more about Lukaku last season at Anfield, fam. Or is that what you're talking about? The VAR?
No, I'm
Yeah,
talking about his
What
goal
happened,
right now.
what happened in the League
Sorry.
Cup? What happened?
No, I was talking. No, I thought Saeed was talking about
goal
last
at
season at
Anfield.
Anfield.
The
Huh?
goal. Wait,
Yeah,
you're talking about
the offside, the one that shouldn't have been chalked offside.
You
That's
know
what
what,
I thought
Goody?
Saeed was
You know
talking
what,
about.
Goody? Even I have to be honest, even in the League Cup, even in the League
Yeah, it's-
Cup.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Listen,
Yeah.
guys,
But listen, listen, it ain't gonna happen anyway. It ain't gonna happen. They're not gonna get any relax. But you know what? That would be the thing for me, the craziest thing ever if they had a replay. Like if there was a rematch. I don't
They're not
think
gonna
Tottenham
do
would
that.
want that because at the end of the day, it's happened. It's with 10 men as well. As well, you're not gonna play with 9 men, are you?
You know why that can't
you know what I
happen?
mean?
Because
They
you know why that
do it.
can't happen? Because Villa will be outraged with their decision in Project Restart. Arsenal will be outraged. They can't just give it that. That can't happen.
Open a big can of worms.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Exactly, and then they'll just have to
Yeah,
backdate all
yeah.
the errors and stuff.
Very, yeah.
What I think they should do
Bro,
is
I
they
want to go
should-
back to 2009, 10
They should bring.
when
They should
William
bring in
goes
semi.
offside.
Man, they should bring in semi-automatic.
I want to go back to the hand of Rod.
They should bring in
Bro.
semi-automatic refereeing. Like you see in the FIFA lines for the Champions League, they need to bring that in, where it's like clear as day. You see the knees off the past the line. There's no human doing it. It's a semi-automated.
I don't see why we need like at this stage like of like technology and growth. Like, shouldn't AI just be able to decide
Facts.
offside and just come up? Like, we shouldn't.
Facts.
We should not be having humans look at this because if we're being honest, they are gonna make. It's not even that the fact that they make errors. They have biases. Like, let's be real. At the end of the day,
George, you know
we
what
all
they
have
said?
certain biases, and clearly some of these biases must be playing into because there's no way that there's going to be so many errors go wrong. And the season's just started. Like, we're literally 7 games in and there's been how many problems so far this season? Like, it's
They
nuts.
don't want to further train or complicate things. And also, I genuinely believe the reason why they don't implement more and more things is because they want to wait and be the last person to implement that thing before it's mandatory. Like
What's mad
VAR.
though? You know, there's a referee right now that is basically, you know, the ghost goal back in the day in 2000, I don't know when Watford played someone, Reading, I think it was. There's a referee that's still playing, still refereeing right now, that gave that goal score that was never a goal. Like, just imagine like the standards of the referee right now. He's still available. I think it's called Stuart something. I don't forgot his name, but he's still around. I think it's called Stuart Atwell. Is he called? It might be Stuart Atwell.
Yeah,
He's still
yeah,
around.
well, yeah.
But listen, go back to Man United. Like, I'll start with you, Gooley, man. Like, will it get better? Like, will Man United progressively get worse? Like, you know how you man were just bad for like bare long. Like, you man
Still
were
are,
like,
still are,
bad.
still are. Don't sugarcoat it. We still are. We're still shit. Can you not hear
No, I'm
me?
just saying, like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, as in, like,
Say your next line.
you know, that kind of like bad.
Oh, for you guys, it's a tough one, man, because our situation is kind of different. We basically gutted out everything to do with our club in a very small space of time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just limiting it to like our squad, and you look at what we've got like about 2, maybe 3 players that are over 25 years old. We've got no kind of like mature seniority in that type of, you know what I mean? We ain't got that in our squad. But as for you guys, you've still got a mixture of experience. You've still got a mixture of players that have been there, done it, won it, played at the highest level on a consistent level. I think it's like Egal said, a lot of it is your decisions off the pitch. I think, for example, going back to the Rangnick situation that you were saying, had you kept him as your director of football, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. Your structure just looks a mess, to be honest with you. Doesn't look like there's going to be anything sustainable. Even with your injuries coming back, you still need to work on that squad if you want to be competing and be that Manchester United you want to be on all fronts, bro. But at the minute, I just don't see it. And then also on top of that as well, something that I can speak on that is similar to Chelsea is I feel that there's an issue between the players and the management off the scenes. The situation with Jadon Sancho, it's not looking good, bro. And situations like that, one thing that I can definitely tell you is that they cause factions within the team. Jadon Sancho has got good friends in that squad that are going to side with him. And that will come with disrespect to the manager or certain people not favoring certain things. These things, these quote unquote, I'm not saying that this is what he is, but this is the terms people like to use for guys like this. You need to get this quote unquote bad apples out of the club. The ones that are not going to be in line with what's going on before you can really
Let me talk to you.
pull together this gun.
Also, but the thing is as well, you got Rashford's form as well is massively dipped as well, like proper dip. Like,
What about
and again,
Bruno
like
as
I said,
well?
he keeps Bruno as well. Yeah, listen, Bruno as well.
I have
He
a
again has
theory
not
on
been
that.
great for a while.
Saeed, my theory on that is the style of play that you guys are trying to play is not to the strength of your best players. Bruno Fernandes and Rashford benefit from playing a quick counter-attacking football where they can utilize their best skill sets. But when it comes to having to keep possession, continue to progress the ball by keeping possession and recycling, neither of them are good at that.
Let me ask you a question though. Did Arteta do that though? Did Arteta make his style of play conducive to 2 players? I don't think he did.
Arteta got
I don't
rid of
think he
them.
played it to 2.
Arteta got rid of
But that's what I'm
Aubameyang,
saying.
got rid of Pepe, got rid of all our best players that we thought were our best players because they couldn't play the style of football we wanted to play. We played counter-attacking football the first season. The next season, we tried to play that style of football. Guess what happened? We got found out every single week.
That's what you have to do. I think sometimes he's compromising. He's compromising right now his philosophy for certain players in the squad. You can't do that, bro. You can't.
So, question for you, because I spoke to a few United fans and they actually wanted this. Would you have went with the same 11 that beat Palace in midweek? Because a lot of United fans were saying they merit a start. Because for me, it's kind of a no-brainer that Bruno and Rashford come in because your main source of output. But I do get the other point of view where, you know what? It's our most scintillating performance. It's the best we've looked all season. Play that same 11. So what's your thoughts on that? Did you want Rashford
I
and
would
Bruno
have dropped Rashford. I would have dropped Rashford for me. You get me? People can say, "Oh, Garnacho's not it, and he's not starting well." But the whole premise of you being in bad form is you don't continue to play. Like that's what it is. Like if you're in bad form, you get dropped regardless of where you are. You might not win the game, but you know what? You set a precedent that if you're not playing well, you don't start. It's simple as that. You come off the bench. If you score a goal, you come off the bench. you warrant maybe going back into the team. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, on top of that as well, Saeed, you know what as well? Like comparing Rashford and Garnacho is a bit unfair on Garnacho. Garnacho is just stepping into football. Rashford is a veteran in this thing. How many years of first team football is this guy been playing?
8. I was reading it. I think it's 8, Goonie. I think it's actually 8.
And this is why we also, us as football fans in general, I don't know if you guys do this as well, but sometimes we find ourselves saying, I want experienced players in terms of relating to the age. Experience is relative. It's like we're saying with Rashford and your guys like Mbappe's. These guys are 23, 24, but they've got bags of experience. Do you see what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in. But go on.
Big up. Side, love having me. Big up, you lot. I've got this.
Yeah, big up as well. Jordan as got to go as well.
It's not a coincidence that Manchester United are performing bad the moment that their talismans are not performing well. It's just not a coincidence either. So, Ten Hag, I don't think sacking him is the solution right now. But I think trying to figure out what the hell is going on in the back room is probably better off. But I don't think your fans have the patience to figure out what's going on.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think the fans have the patience. And ultimately, they want a new manager in. You could go and get Hansi Flick in. You could go get whoever in. But I just think it's a revolving cycle. I think with Chelsea, they're used to it. But with United, I'm telling you right now, they straight away, as soon as they see it, they're like, oh, we're getting gas. And the next thing you know, bang, they want it sacked. We're not the same clubs, man. Chelsea are a different club to Man United. Like, they are.
No, but
Chelsea,
that's under Roman. That's under Roman. You can't compare Chelsea under Roman to the new owner. No one knows if he can win.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. But people, listen, there's 1.4K in the building. Make sure you're smashing the likes on people. Make sure you're doing that. We should be on 1,000 likes, to be honest with you. I wanted to discuss Kai Havertz, man. Obviously, it's a sticky one. But he did get his goal yesterday. Obviously, Goon is still here. You know what, man? It's that good though. That song there today, like, was that shameless from the Arsenal fans, or was that just passionate support? Because I was just like, bro, man scored 1 goal and a penalty, and you man are singing for him already. Like, that's crazy.
Bro, I we have to support the player, bro. He's been getting so much stick from the media, from everybody, from the moment we signed him till that goal. Like, there were literally articles coming out, this was a waste of money. So I think backing your player is what we're supposed to do. You can't say that Arsenal fans are not backing him. And when it comes to Chelsea, of course you guys are going to criticize him. He played for you guys in your worst ever season last year. But the funny thing is, you guys are still poor, and he's finally getting it off his mark. So he's moved on. And hopefully this is an opportunity for him to open his account with Arsenal, get that goal, and to push on. But people have to view him differently now. We can't view him as a striker anymore because we're playing him as a midfielder. People are judging him based on what he was at Chelsea and comparing him to other forwards with his goals. He's a midfielder. If he gets a goal every 5 games, that's usually what midfielders do. You don't have goal-scoring midfielders scoring 20 goals on a regular basis.
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. Obviously, they wanted to egg him on, innit, Gooley. You know what I mean? They wanted to kind of give him some confidence and that. But did they do the right thing? Because now that he's got his goal, people are gonna think that he's gonna push on that and score a couple more. But reality, that was a penalty. You feel me? Like,
honestly, I'll say, listen, I'll say this because there's 2 perspectives you got to look at it from. And from an Arsenal perspective, if you're an Arsenal fan, that's the right thing to do. What else you support your team for? You're supposed to get behind your players when they're at their worst. Even when they're at their best, you're supposed to always get behind your players. And Kai Havertz is one of their own. Do you know what I mean? They paid 65 M's for him. Of course, they want to see him do well. They can't just write him off and not support him after less than 10 games he's played for Arsenal. You can't just do that. So in terms of them doing what they did, I actually thought, to get behind the player in that manner, that's actually a good thing that they done for him, because now he's going to feel, well, you know what, for the time being, the fans got behind me for scoring the goal. However, on the flip side of things, if you're looking from outside the box, it's sort of like 65 M's. Is this what we're really celebrating, the penalty being scored? It depends which way you want to look at it, completely honest with you. But me, I'm more leaning towards that. He's been there for 5 minutes. He hasn't had the best experience. Rival fans, the move from Chelsea to Arsenal fans being skeptical as well. There's a lot of things that could have been going through his mind. So for his fans to be on his, to support him like that, I think that was the right thing to do. I don't really see it as shameless, to tell you the truth.
We also have to stop looking at him as a striker and as a forward, because
he's not that.
He's not that. It's almost like judging. It's almost like judging Gundogan on trying to score the same level of goals as Sterling. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean?
No, it's
But
true.
right now,
It's true.
the way that we've been playing him defensively, he's actually been amazing in the midfield. It's just people are judging him only on his GA, where I've done this too. The analysis cannot be based on what he does, like goals or assists. It has to be done on his overall performance, and his overall performances have not been that bad outside of like the Fulham game, for example.
But you know what? It shouldn't deflect from the performance, man. Arsenal 4-0. I can't lie to you, man. That is a big, big result. I know it's Bournemouth away. You, man, got a good record there, innit? Bournemouth away.
Bro, we used to have a bad record under Arsene Wenger for a couple of years. Like
I know that's the Wenger. Yeah, I was gonna say.
But
Yeah,
right now,
but now
2 years in a row, two wins, 4 goals. Ben White also getting on the goal sheet. Martin Odegaard, Saka. Everyone said he's having a slow start to the season. He has 9 goals in 9 games, and it's just like I'm happy with this team finally because they showed me a good performance. We haven't seen this kind of performance in a while, so it's really good to see that Champions League game, going to that Man City game. We want to be focused, and I kind of would rotate going into the Champions League so we can face City at our best. Because City just coming off a loss and us doing how we're doing right now, I'm very confident going into that game. We'll see if my confidence is naivety, but at this moment in time, I'm very up for that game. And guess what? No Partey, still no problem in the midfield. We have players like Martinelli out, no problem. Trossard out, no problem. We have injuries and we're still getting on with it. So this is what I like to see.
Well, I don't know, man. You say you have injuries, but all of a sudden, I see Jesus back in the team, Saliba back in the team. I mean, your main guy. I'm like, yo, hold on a minute. Like Arteta's trying to play mind games, you know. Like he's trying to like act like your man's got injuries. In reality, everyone came back. I was like, yo, slow down, buddy. You know, what I mean? Like, what are you doing, mate?
Saka has been injured for a couple of weeks now, and he's still been playing. It's just one of those things where it's like you're gonna play on. The guy is fully injured, I think, or Arteta's just lying to keep his cards close to his chest, and I don't think that's outside of the realm of possibility either.
You guys have to be careful with Saka, and I've been saying this for a while.
Serious.
The amount of games that you guys play him. Listen, he's a fantastic player. That's not in question, but the amount of games that you guys play him, I honestly hope to God it don't turn out to be like an N'Golo Kante situation, because Chelsea, we were very naive with him. We played him every single time because N'Golo Kante is Kante. He doesn't get injured. He runs around all the time. He runs home from training, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Eventually, these things can catch up. So I don't know. So who's second to Saka in the right wing position? Who plays there if he's not playing?
can play there. Reece Nelson can play there.
Okay.
Reece Nelson.
We could even play Fabio Vieira there. But my personal thing, Champions League, we don't play him this week. We let him have a day off in the Champions League.
Yeah, against RC Lons. Yeah. You don't need him for RC Lons.
I
I think they're struggling this year as well, this season.
And also, guys, I think our midfield and our defense is the best part of our team. I think our attack is actually probably our weakest point, and that's maybe that's like unpopular opinion, but our attack is the weakest point of our whole.
To me, it's not. I have to agree. I think that your defense to me is actually your strongest, in my opinion. When Saliba and Gabriel are playing, and obviously Thomas Partey when he's fit, or I think that's the strongest part of your team, and as it should be, definitely.
Facts.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think for me, that was key, man. That's Arsenal won and City lost. And then obviously you go into the next week's game, like, you win that game, you're top of the league then, right? You're top of the league. Like, that's key, man. I just think for me right now, Arsenal have got to be screwed on now. This is the time to catch Man City where they're at, set the league. Obviously, the league's not done, but I feel like mentally they need to win this weekend. They need to win. And they needed a strong performance against Bournemouth, whether you like it or not. They needed something to kind of say, you know what? We've got this. And I think that was a key result, man. So I can't lie, man. They showed their swagger, man. And yeah, go on.
You said swagger right now. Remember you said Arsenal don't have the same swagger a couple weeks ago. We're not the same team. We're more controlled. We don't have that gung-ho mentality where we're trying to go for 5 goals. We're kind of like, we get 2 goals, we're trying to hold down the lead, and we're not trying to give you a sniff of the ball. That's kind of how we're playing. So, of course, it's not going to look as appealing on the eye, but it's going to be a lot more sustainable for the whole season. So that's why I wanted to point out the whole swagger point. 100%,
100%, man. Listen, Gooley, you're lucky. You're getting life, right now. I can't lie. expecting a little bit of something. But you might have played tomorrow, you know, against Fulham. Like, I'm hearing it's looking tense right now. What are you saying, bro? Like, is it looking tense right now? Like,
bro, you know me. I told the truth, bro. I say it as it is. For me, as a Chelsea fan right now, I don't enjoy watching any Chelsea games right now. I don't look forward to any Chelsea games right now. Honestly speaking, bruv. It's just an absolute, like, everything that's going on right now with injuries. In fact, I'm even typing in Chelsea injuries now into Twitter because I've even forgot who we've got injured. A whole bag of teams. So, okay, as of the 29th of September, this is what I've got up on my screen right now. We might have some people coming back.
Yeah.
Chalobah injured, Badiashile injured, Fofana injured, Reece James injured, Chilwell injured, Chukwuemeka injured, Lavia injured, and Kunku injured. And there's more. There's more. And I know they've not been included here, but this is what I've got in front of me. But listen, this whole injury situation, it was the same excuse last season. It was the same excuse last season. It's the same excuse this season. Do you know what I mean? I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of it, bro. And then on top of that, my manager, Pochettino, listen, come on, man. Make it that bit easier for me to support the decisions you're making, because some of them that you're making, even with these injuries, are not making no sense. They're not making no sense. How can you have, watch this here, this man goes from one extreme to another. How can you have, in the game, you've got two left backs on the bench and you've got a centre back playing as the left back? Yeah. Then the next game that you play the League Cup, you've got two left backs on the pitch, right? And you've got no left backs on the bench. So which one? I don't get it. I don't understand what meds this guy is on. This is what I mean. And it's basic things.
And by the way, what are you going to field on this weekend? Because you got my man out. What's his name? Gusto's out.
Gusto's gone. Yeah.
Chilwell's injured. So who are you going to play this weekend? By the way,
bro, it's gonna have to be Colwell at left back again. Yeah, that's what's just gonna end up happening.
Thiago and who at centre back?
Cucurella right back.
Bro, I don't know. This is the question. I don't know. I have no idea.
William's gonna have a field day.
Maybe Disasi's gonna be right back. Maybe Cucurella's gonna have to go right back again.
You have four centre halves. You can just play in the whole back line. Just play four centre halves.
How about your youth team? Is there no youth team set up? Is anyone from the youth team ready? Like, not centre back. Normally you have someone ready.
No, we played. All right, we played Bashir Humphreys. Some people say, well, what about Humphreys? He plays in the back three. I would never ever trust this kid in the back two. Not yet. But yeah, this is the situation where we're in. We are stressed, mate. By we are so stressed, bro. I don't even think, honestly speaking, it kills me to say this, bro. It breaks my heart to say this. I don't think we're beating Fulham tomorrow. Swear down, I don't think we're beating Fulham.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't think we are. Swear down, I don't think we are. But why people telling me, well, Jackson, bro, people telling me Jackson scored earlier in the week. Did you watch the performance? Did you lot won early in the week? Did you watch the performance? Like, listen, no matter, teams will listen. This is what people got to understand as well before coming to me and telling me you won earlier in the week. Shit teams don't lose 38 games in a season. They don't lose every single game, nor do they draw every single game. There's one or two few and far between games where you are going to win. Yeah, just based on the balance of probability, you're not going to lose every game that you play. But the nature of which we won that Brighton game was an absolute joke thing, to be completely honest with you. So for me, I haven't seen anything for me to pick up and say, yeah, you know what? Going into the Fulham game, if we continually do this, this is how we're going to get the result. I don't see it. I don't trust my striker. He's not even a striker to us. He's not a striker. Nah. Nicholas Jackson's not a striker.
We will be there. We will be there.
That's who's going to be there?
Rooney's a real one, man. He kept.
I hear it.
No, people will tell. Look, people in the chat that are telling me Gooney's over exaggerating. No, show me why. What, Luton are 1 point behind us in the Premier League? Am I a fool? Come on, don't take me and yourself for idiot, bro. It's just tell the truth. Tell the truth. This is what I do when people hate me when I tell the truth.
Gooney, it's gonna get, once you get your players back, you're gonna be good. You have a lot of injuries. That's why your fans keep telling me.
Bro, listen, I'm telling you, the same fans were, bro, they were getting naked for Jackson, bro. I kept my clothes on for this guy during pre-season.
Pre-season hype.
Ripping. Getting naked, bro. I'm telling you, bro. They weren't even censoring their things, bro. Forcing me to watch this foolishness. And I'm telling them, listen, Nicholas Jackson, calm yourself down. When the Premier League starts, judge him. Look at the opportunities this guy's had in front of goal. Not even, well, he's not getting that many chances. All right, then forget that. What about the blatant one-on-one chances that he has had? How many of them is he converted? Oh, bro, I can't. Chelsea just stress me out.
Listen, we're going to end it for you here, man, because I don't want you to get more stressed about Chelsea when you got them tomorrow. So listen, people, it's been a good show. Guys, make sure you like the video, people. I'm going to check how many likes we're on right now before we wrap up, because we should be on at least 600 likes. Half of the people here. 457. Guys, hit the like button, people. You know, we're trying to give you a show here. You're seeing Goody stressed. You know,
by the way, this is even better. Jackson's not available tomorrow. Do you know why? And then there's people in the chat that have come from spaces. Oh, he's just quoting what Darko said. Listen, I don't care what you lot got to think. The truth is there in front of you. Darko speaks the truth as well. Jackson can't play tomorrow. Why? In his first 5 games, he's got a yellow card each game. He's suspended, and you're trying to tell me I'm exaggerating. What strategy? He's not even Diego Costa, and they're trying to tell me I'm exaggerating and I'm extra. This is what I'm trying to say. What I've got to deal with.
I'm trying to end the show, right? Chat, don't rattle him, man. I'm trying to end the show. But listen, Igal, make sure you follow Igal. He's going to be live after this, so it was redirected to the stream. Big up to Igal Talks Football. And make sure you follow Man Knows Football, people. Link is in the description for that one as well. And obviously, George and Rob's Big Six Band. People, we're out. I'll see you midday live tomorrow. Me, Guli, Lee Gunner, a couple of other guys as well. So make sure you're there tomorrow, people. Midday live. It's been a good show, people. We're out.